This call is now being recorded.
Orang doang boleh.
We'll start our session in the next 3 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So, sir, I think you're echoing. So I think there's another thing that is, I think you're between two devices that are using the meeting. So I should mute one of the devices. Before we start, can we just check if you're not echoing again? Just check your audio, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. The audience,
Yeah, no, not
as
okay.
full.
So, yes, now we'll start the session. I would ask Dr. Groenda to give us the welcome address.
I can present it, sir.
Very good morning, sir. Very good morning to one and all present here. And thank you for joining us. Just before we get started, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you who so generously helped us this event come together smoothly, particularly Dr. Novita, Stekom University, and the members of organizing team. We couldn't have done it without you. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this 5 days webinar series here in collaboration with DMI St. John the Baptist University, Malawi and University of Stekom, Indonesia through the online platform. We are all looking forward to learn and sharing fruitful experience at this series. On this special occasion, first I would like to welcome our director, Dr. Ignatius A. Herman, DMI Group of Institutions, Reverend Fathers and Reverend Sisters, Dr. I. Jerin Leno, Vice Chancellor, Head of all departments, faculties, and all participants of both DMISJBU and Stekom. I welcome you all. Amidst us, we have an incredible person, Professor Marastika Wicaksono Aji, University of Stekom, lecturer of Business Department, who is going to enlighten us on the webinar on the importance of risk management for industry in digital era 4.0. Welcome you, sir. We are much proud to have such an eminent person with us. Now I hand over the session to Professor Marastika to proceed. Have a great session to you all. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Mr. Dr. Glory Jerin. Thank you so much. I want to be presented by the importance of risk management about risk management in industry in digital 4.0. Okay, thank you for the attention. Thank you for the time to be presented. Okay, the risk management. My profile is Marastika Wicaksono Bawono. I associate degree in UPN Veteran Jakarta, and as a bachelor degree is major information system UPN Jakarta, Master of Management in UPN Veteran Jakarta, and Magister Information Technology in the Swiss German University. You know that I now the job the revenue assurance as in the Telkom Satellite Indonesia, and then the lecture for the Science and Technology University of Stekom and assessor PPTK Kominfo. You can call me the IG. I know the part-time the assessor PPTK Kominfo. Dear Central of Rector Stekom in this University, Dr. Joseph Stekom, you can call the rector of the DMI, the Baptist University in Malawi, and then the outline into the risk. You know that process safety versus the occupation safety. Applying the ISO and the risk management process, and outline the risk tolerance or the tolerable risk, and then the as allow the as a reasonability and the ASO. And then now the alert and now allow the listenability of the as Hazok, and then the responsibility.
Terima kasih Pak atas penjelasannya. Saya lihat dari lancar maupun itu hampir sama ya Bapak Ibu yang tadi.
And then you can see for the risk management process example.
Bisa dipakai kembali. Terima kasih Bapak. Menginjak ke selanjutnya selanjutnya adalah mungkin dari Pak ya. Nah ini ada beberapa piagam dari piagam penghargaan dari Bapak pemateri kita Pak Murah. Luar biasa seperti kita pada siang hari ini. Kenapa bisa menginspirasi kita, saya sendiri sebagai yang masih butuh terhadap pengalaman dan ilmu, dan bisa menambah wawasan tentang tema hari ini, mendaur ulang minyak goreng dan oli. Bu Ari cukup ya Bu Ari ya, selanjutnya mungkin ada closing statement dari Pak Dr. Beben Mulyana, MMPD, untuk kegiatan hari ini. Maka Bapak, waktu dan kesempatannya dipersilakan.
Baik, terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Alhamdulillah hari ini kita mendapatkan ilmu yang luar biasa. Terima kasih pada Bapak narasumber, Bapak Marastika Wicaksono Aji Bawono, M.Kom dan MM, Bapak Anugrah Gilang Kasa S.Kom, dan juga Bapak Rektor yang luar biasa memberikan tetap semangat pada kita, dan tidak lupa moderator dan para peserta yang berbahagia. Satu hal yang kita pelajari hari ini, ternyata semakin banyak yang kita pelajari satu ilmu, maka semakin sedikit ilmu yang kita pelajari, yang kita miliki, karena ternyata ilmu itu sangat luas sekali. Dan hari ini kita sudah mendapatkan suatu ilmu yang baru. Terima kasih. Kita sudah diberi pencerahan bahwa ternyata salah satu kekayaan negeri kita itu ada di sumber negeri kita tercinta ini. Internet ini begitu banyak kegunaannya, dan insya Allah kita mendapatkan ilmu setelah kita dijelaskan tadi. Yang terpenting bahwa masa depan anak kita itu ada di tangan kita ya saat ini. Dan tentu kita ingin mewariskan alam yang bersih dan memberi manfaat untuk kehidupan yang lebih baik untuk anak cucu kita, jauh dari limbah-limbah minyak tadi ya. Ternyata dari limbah yang kita sederhana ini, kalau dijumlahkan secara nasional, jumlahnya sangat luar biasa limbah itu. Apabila limbah itu dibuang, berarti mencemari lingkungan yang sangat banyak, termasuk Bali. Dengan pemikiran kita pada hari yang bahagia ini, semoga di bulan yang istimewa juga hari ini, kita memberikan sumbangsi pemikiran kita untuk menjadikan negara kita tercinta ini lebih maju dan jauh dari limbah-limbah yang membahayakan tentu kehidupan kita. Dan kita sadari bahwa begitu kita fokus beberapa waktu yang lalu terhadap minyak ya, begitu minyak langka, semua menjadi perhatian, semua fokus. Dan juga pemerintah begitu bersikap cepat ya, menangani permasalahan itu. Dan sebetulnya ironi ya, di negara kita yang kaya raya dengan sumber minyak ini, harganya begitu mahal. Tentu bagi orang-orang kaya tidak banyak begitu pengaruh. Tapi bayangkan bagi masyarakat yang kecil, orang pedagang kecil, dan perusahaan-perusahaan yang lain, begitu berdampak. Nah, dengan hari ini kita dicerahkan, ternyata ada satu bahan yang bisa dimanfaatkan oleh masyarakat. Ya, bleaching earth ini ternyata bisa kita dapatkan, meskipun tadi dijelaskan dari skala kecil agak sulit juga. Ya. Nah, namun dari daur ulang minyak goreng ini bisa dikatakan ada nilai-nilai ekonomis apabila dilakukan dengan benar agar tetap sehat, yang bisa digunakan meskipun didaur ulang. Kita menyadari bahwa jutaan minyak ini yang lahir dari dapur-dapur ini, itu bila dibiarkan akan mencemari lingkungan, dan tentu ini akan memunculkan berbagai bahaya bagi kehidupan.
Okay, thank you so much this video, the example for the risk management process. And now the risk management process, you are the risk process that identify the risk and the exposure, and then find the instrument and the facilities to shift to the right risk, and then assess the cost and benefit instrument, and then form a risk mitigations for the risk mitigations, and then avoid and transfer mitigate for the evaluate the performance. The future cannot be predicted, and is the curtain, and no one has ever been successful in the consistent forecasting in the stock market interest rates, exchange the rates, or the commodity price of the credit, operational and systematic events with the major financial implication. However, the financial risk and the uncertainty can be managed. And then the typicology and the risk. Typicology and the risk, the market risk, credit risk, liquidity risk, operational risk, and legal risk, business risk, and strategic risk, and reputation risk. In theory, and the more the elegant compassing the categorization and the more the detail and the compensation, and there are more closely the company risk will be captured. In the practice, this is a process is limited by the level of model complexity. The can be handled by the available technology by a cost availability on the internal market data. Okay, the key success factors for the risk management. The key success factors in the risk management is the key success factor, recognizing the value of the risk management, and then the value risk management, individual commitment, responsibility, and then open the honest the communications, the organization commitments, tailoring and the risk effort, and the integration with the organization project, and then the management for the key. This is the key success factor for the risk management, enable the realization principle, the discussion sections. And this next, the open and the honest community. The context of the organization activities. You can see the vision, mission, and the organization strategy, objective, the strategy, and the objective, the portfolio management, strategic plans, management of the ongoing the operations, organization research. This is the pyramid for the risk management. And then the goals, objective, and alignment with the strategies. The intent of the business benefit and the value requires, and the execution of the operational and the change plans, organization realize the benefits of the change executing the plans. And that the associate activities which the result in the successful attainment of the portfolio program and the project objective. For most organization, change in the inevitability and is the necessary to maintain and sustain the competitiveness. To manage the change successfully, and then the organization required robust and well thought at the strategic execution plan to the implement portfolios, program, and a project in consistent manner over time. The requirement, the adoption, and of the effective organization and project management PM implementation. Implementation of PM in a framework in which the portfolio, program, and the project management are the alignment with the strategy and integrated of the organizational enabler in the order achieve the strategic objective. The risk management in the risk management and life cycle described to the in this section illustrate a structure approach for the undertaking and the comprehensive view the risk throughout the enterprise portfolio. The plan risk management, identify risk management, perform quality risk management, and perform quantitative risk analysis, plan risk response, implement the risk response, and monitor risk. And then the definition list. Definition and the risk. We can see definition that is the opportunity, high opportunity, high opportunity, high the probability, and the consequence. The upside there is the rating of risk: gold, silver, bronze, and green, and yellow and red. And gold a major opportunity. The significance major opportunity action the required is the cost effective. The silver, if significant, the opportunity action desirable if a cost effective. The bronze managed for the continental improvement. The green managed for the continental improvement. Yellow, the incorporate risk reduction measure and manage risk alarm. And then the red, the interval additional risk reduction measure required. And then the project safety for event, major accident hazard, slip, trips, and falls, and then the right record, consequence of event, then the linearity in the process safety. And then you can see the process safety of the physics, the occupational, and this the occupational safety. The simple definition: the ensure the people doing the right way to their job, and the execute consequence if the failure. Personal injuries, slip, the trips, fall, impact hit, poison, and others. And then the process safety is different from the occupational safety. Process safety in the tolerant of risk. A tolerable risk and the low consequence high the frequency the associated safety. Notice the intuitive as a more people like the personal experience. Let the more boost analysis tools to identify the hazard and the unacceptable the consequence you need more reliable control, and incident can be massive and has everlasting. And then the process safety challenges of the major incident hazard. Major incident hazard in the people and the process the Texas is the hazard risk for the maintain the risk management. The analysis of the disaster as a summary. As analysis the disaster summary, majority of incidents could have been anticipated if you have a systematic risk-based safety life cycle approach had been applied, like of the structure approach to safety management. Like in the adequate specification of the safety requirement to the pure the hazard analysis. Pure the assessment of a failure or model of control. Pure the management of the contractor and supplier. And then the process safety analysis. Process safety managing about the beautiful plans and then avoid to becoming to below the conditions. Limiting risk not always, and the option is how to manage all the most critical risks. And then the ISO risk management system. As ISO risk management system, managing risk based on the principle framework and the process and outline. This is the risk metric, risk tolerance, and the assessment of the risk tolerance. Risk tolerance for the treatment, the very high the risk, very high the opportunity in the risk tolerance, very high. You can manage to risk the assessment for the trade. And then the alert, as the alert is allow as the reasonability, practicability, not little change, reasonability possible. The commercial pressures often drive the companies to accept lower standard. Then the word be recommended by your safety studies. Alert is the demonstration, not purely the quantitative assessment. This is the risk alert. This other concept, risk not acceptable, the risk cannot be justified except in the extraordinary circumstances and the stance. This alert or the tolerance. Tolerant only if the risk reduction is the impracticable, then cost the grossly disproportionate and then the improve again. And then the tolerable the risk. Regulator expectation must match the expectation of the industry and society perception, and the tolerable risk varies. Regulatory convey the society expectation, individual risk, hypothetical pressure, employee of the public, societal risk, and then the employee or the perform to quantitative risk analysis. This is up in individual risk, societal risk, and the curve the intolerable in if the alert. Sample risk tolerance criteria. This is a company sales is risk tolerance criteria. The hazard tools, hazard identification, layout, exit, the hazard shields, the hazard register, and then the format, the safety, and now the hydrocarbon hazard, and then the risk quantitative assessment. You can see the bug. You can see the diagram hazard, and then the applying the hazard and or the hazard cell study in the oil and gas offshore and the refinery and the petrochemical and the chemical plant, and then the sample product storage, even the hazard release loss of primary containment, normal and safe the operating envelope. Now, industry best practice organization with normal operating envelope, operational operational outside and the normal operating, and then the envelope, but the system with the safe operating the envelope process shall be established to ensure that the appropriate responsibility. This is the SAS part of layer protections, mitigation, prevention, and the emergency shutdown, the planned emergency response, the passive protection layer, safety layer, and the process control layer. The systematic means of the identification hazard with the potential to cause the harm, the people, asset, the production, the reputation, and environment. Identify the and documenting the possible cause and the potential consequences of this hazard being realized. Identifying and documenting the control safeguard in the place to prevent or to mitigate the hazard. Hazard is even the cause, the consequence, the making recommendation where the required for the additional control safeguard in the place to prevent or to mitigate this hazard. Sample storage tank, tank corrosion, vibration, wrong design, like pump run, leak, stroke tank, spillage in the tank area, rim file, and pure file, and the explosions. This is the hazard. This is the hazard. It's the different. Okay, the good hazard in this knowledge more the refers or the parameter flow, temperature, pressure, level compression, piece, pressure, maintenance, and then the deviation of flow. This the flow refers less temperature or more temperature, and then another. This is the typical hazard. Typical hazard is the hazard types, the health hazard, disaster hazard, the working environment, physicals of temperature, drinking water, and then the extreme hot and cold, the atmosphere, the environment, the hazard. Risk ranking for the risk register is important. The natural hazard, with the word, the extreme, the weather, cause the high temperature and the low temperature and the high wind, and then the consequence, the dehydration leading to a personal injury, and then the asset damage and the escalation in the fire, including leading to the potential asset damage, and then the safeguard or barrier in control. Barrier or control di sini is hard barrier. You can see hard barrier, soft barrier, maintenance, procedural control, training and competence, emergency response plans, learning for the assistant is a major incident. And the recommendation is the practical why. Now the example hazard. This is the diagram flow. Assess the sample hazard. As a hazard, the knowledge the flow, and then the GVC start the close, and then the increase the pressure, the start pressure to provide the pressure transmitter complemented with the high pressure. This is the hazard identification, and then the risk analysis, safety requirement, SAR the verifications. And then the SLC and define to the standard. Conceptual, the process design, the perform the hazard analysis and risk assessment. Apply the analysis, the protection layers to prevent, identify hazard or the reduce risk. This is the closing the gap analysis basis. Example, the target mitigate the event likelihood, the high hypothetical corporate risk, the criteria, the high that sometimes called by the tolerable risk frequency. Sample target mitigate event, sample target event, and then what is the probability value on demand. This is the timing of the hazard identification. This is the reference digital book. And then thank you so much for attention. If you have question, you can contact WhatsApp and email. Thank you so much. Hello, thank you so much for the attention. This is the reference digital book. For the you link the download the my book, the risk management.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful presentation. We are so grateful. May I ask Dr. Glory Jerin just to give us a word of thanks. Thank you.
Yes, Joel. Thank you so much. So, any doubts from participant side?
Yes, Dr. Gorijan.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Professor. You have provided.
Hello, madam. Hello.
Yes. Do you have any doubt?
It's a very good presentation, madam. Congratulations to the guest speaker and the team, madam. We don't have a doubt now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I think there's
Thank you,
no doubt.
Professor. You have provided. Yes.
Yes, thank you
Yes,
so
there's
much,
no doubt.
Dr. Gorijan and Jason.
Okay. So you have provided a lot of information to us about risk management with clear ideas. Thank you for your time, Professor. Thank you once again on behalf of DMI St. John the Baptist University, Malawi, and University of Stekom, Indonesia. Dear participants, really it's a great pleasure to wish you all once again. Last but not least, once again, I would like to thank all the delegates, the university authorities, and keynote speakers. Thank you one and all. I wish everyone a successful, safe, and fruitful day. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Dr.
sir. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you so much.